I'm Angie.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're
Love Spirals.
So welcome to episode 86.
Going back many years to when we had our audio podcast up on iTunes and everything.
Well, okay, so before we get into the show, I just wanted to address that this is the second of our newly relaunched video podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/lovespiralsofficial. But it's number 86 because it's also an audio podcast over at mixcloud.com/lovespirals. I just uploaded the very first episode we ever did,
Oh my
in
God.
2005, like in the interim between our December podcast and today. So sorry that we've been lagging, but there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't know which is the most exciting thing, but
Let's start anywhere you want.
I know. Well, okay. I'm kind of excited because Pandora actually listed Life Goes On in their library this time.
Wow, and that's big news because we were like anti-Pandora for a while. Because
We were.
they're really cool with our first few albums as Love Spirals, but then on our prior album, Future Past, they wouldn't accept it, and their grounds were, we already have a bunch of albums that sound like that. Like, really, a bunch of bands that have crossed like 2000s, like down-tempo chill out with Pink Floyd and Little Cocteau Twins. Like, I would like to hear that. Please suggest that to me. But
The market is saturated, apparently. Back when they used to beg independent bands to send in music, people like us, that's when they were cool to us.
They got venture capital funding and all that. Yeah.
And then once they started like working with big bands, all of a sudden we were cut. But we're back.
Cool. So
We're back. Yeah. So I actually went over to Pandora and I was like, oh, wow, I'm going to get like really involved. I like started trying to make like playlists and like they have this new thing now where artists can make little audio blurbs. So
Okay.
I recorded a couple like, hey, this is Angie at Love Spirals.
cool.
And you're listening to a track from our new album.
nice.
But now they're rolling out something that's even more extensive. I haven't gotten into it yet.
We could be bothered to try it out probably.
Yeah, now that we're bros with Pandora again.
How we are. We just like, just trying out new stuff online to like, promote our music, promote our media.
Yeah, and talk to our fans.
And talk, exactly.
We're like way into it.
Yeah, we do live streams. I don't know if we can do a Love Spirals live stream chat, Do those Happy Healthy Vegan.
I wonder if anyone would tune in.
Let us know in the comments if you would watch and, participate in a Love Spirals just live chat.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Just talk about music instead of like food stuff.
So Pandora, babe, I wanted to tell you
Okay.
something. Like I was looking originally on our song "Are You Lonely" to see what songs that they said it sounded like, but then it turns out this is what they said our entire album "Life Goes On" sounds like.
I said, really? Like, Are You Lonely? Sounds like these bands I looked at. Try like our ambient song. No lyrics. It's the same band, same songs. I go, okay, this is album wide, but just band wide. They think we sound like these bands, so let's check this out.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird.
I know, it is kind of funny. It gives us a lot of talking points. So they think that we have similarities with 07 in the Waiting Line.
Great band, great song, but definitely not an inspiration for this album. Life Goes On. Not even close.
No. I think it was true of the last album, which they had too much of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were right. They had too much of 07 and stuff. What else?
Yeah. Air. La Femme d'Argent.
One of my favorite songs from the 90s, hands down. Air, La Femme d'Argent. It's a classic song. Love it. Beautiful bass lines, drum machines and all, synthesizer, string machines, but it doesn't sound like Life Goes On at all.
Once again, the album that they don't have on their service sounds more like La Femme d'Argent. Yeah, you know what? That album, that Air album, what was the name of it?
Moon Safari.
Moon Safari. That makes me think of when we first started dating. That was like the big album, and we listened to it a
hip
lot.
and with it.
We like did ecstasy and listened to it.
Uh-oh.
Like, yeah, I know. We were hella 90s.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, I love this song, Aya, Nobody Knows Me.
Yeah, most people don't know that. Aya, she works a lot with one of our favorite bands of all time.
Blue Six.
Yeah. And it's a great song, great band, but I don't think it sounds anything like this. Should we just talk about her inspirations?
Like this kind of like tropical thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I love her. I love all the stuff that
do
she's
too.
done with Jay and Dave Boonshoff, but doesn't sound like us. I mean, this album, I know where my inspirations came from for sure, and I think those of you that are up on that kind of music that I'm into know exactly where it's coming from, and it's not coming from like 2000s down tempo. It's coming from.
No, it goes way earlier.
It goes back to my prior band, Love Spirals Downward, band I did before I met Angie, on a label called Project. It was ethereal kind of a label. I guess it crossed over some goth and stuff. But yeah, it was all in the Cocteau Twins.
Yeah.
I was trying to like slow dive stuff like that. Just beautiful shoegazer type stuff. And that's the well I was drinking from entirely and making Life Goes On. I just wanted to make an album. Well, let me just get a quick inspiration. Like, I always wondered if I had good equipment back in the 90s, which I didn't. It was pretty primitive, but it got the job done. If I had good equipment and had no excuses other than like lack of talent or inspiration, would I be able to make an album that sounded as gorgeous as theirs? So I just said, I got the stuff now. I have great gear now. And that was my goal and inspiration, just to make the album I wish I could have made back then. But not trying to be retro, using the influences and things I've learned since then, as far as like, sound production, bands I listen to now. I'm like way more on top of stuff like, say, Pink Floyd sound, which I didn't know too much about back in the 90s.
I feel like that one's my fault.
Oh,
I got you really into Pink
thank
Floyd.
you. I was always Pink Floyd curious and interested, but I didn't really go down the rabbit holes of so many other albums that we're into.
Yeah. I totally grew up with Floyd. Like, I remember when The Wall dropped and going to the store to get the vinyl and everything.
Wish You Were Here, one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah. So, but it's not like you weren't like listening to like Cocteau Twins albums and like like trying to work on songs like based on listening to something.
I wasn't trying to copy.
It's more like you had absorbed
anything.
It over all these decades.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I wasn't like listening actively. Oh, I'm going to steal this and that. I know the sound because I've heard their albums a million times. So I know it's just like part of my DNA. So I was just accessing that part of my DNA that's them and just trying to express that musically.
Yeah. First of all, you guys should know that this guy plays all the instruments, and he's always played all the instruments.
Yeah, occasional guest musician.
So to say band isn't really appropriate.
Yeah.
Like you're a musical composer, and you do all the programming, and if there's any kind of instrument or drum machine or anything, it's all
Prince.
you.
I'm like Prince.
You are like Prince. Except for Prince
that.
Also writes the lyrics and comes up
with
the
I don't do the
musical,
singing and all that part, but all the music and writing bit, it's just like Prince does.
Yeah.
You hear a groovy friggin' bass line or drum beat, that's Prince.
Yeah, this guy has never had a band. Like, you've never had a bassist, a drummer, like nothing.
That kind of classic band. Not that I dislike that. I just never just put one together or kept one together.
I think that you have too much like control issues to be working with a full band. Honestly.
I appreciate working with a good musician. If I like jam with someone cool, it's like rad. A lot of guys I watch and go, God, I wish I can get a musician like that.
Really?
Like say like John Paul Jones, Led Zeppelin. God, I would give anything to have a guy that could play a funky bass line like that, play beautiful roads like that. Nice. Mick Fleetwood. God, if I had a guy that played drums like that, I've never used a drum machine again.
Wow. Well, we'll see,
So if you guys are watching, if you're watching, let me know in the comments if you'd love to collaborate. If you somehow strangely, remotely happen to be fans of my or our work, let us know down here.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, so first of all, there's no band. It's Ryan Lum. So it's Ryan Lum, like, making up stuff here in this very studio at this time. But back in the day, like right when I met you is when you were starting to record things like directly into a computer.
Yeah.
But before that, you were recording to tape.
A tape machine, a 1/4-inch 8-track tape machine. And the mixers and preamps I was using back then kind of sucked too. The tape was not high quality, like say 2-inch 16-track.
Oh man,
or 2-inch,
you've got some tape down here.
track.
You could show them a reel.
Yeah, I'll show them a reel of my crappy tape. Huh?
Exactly. So you only had 8 tracks available to you, which honestly, like, I had a band back then, and I had like a 4-track tape recorder at home, and I would have to like go into a studio to do something.
I'm not even sure which album this is from, but this is from a
this is history right here.
Yeah, look at this stuff, man.
Oh yeah, it says in the back.
Yeah, I don't know what those are.
Vocal 5. What?
Yeah.
He still has the machine, but it's just like
in a closet.
It hasn't been
used in like a decade.
Who knows if it even works? But I've begged him to get it out to like see if it works and see what's still on tape. And then you had to sync a drum machine up, like with SMPTE time or something.
It's
like,
complicated.
How did it work?
It's complicated. You lay down a track of time code, so you lose one of your 8 tracks of time code. You can synchronize a drum machine or sequencer and run those through a mixing board as that plays along, synchronized to the stuff on tape. You don't have to do that anymore. Just use everything and all in the computer.
It's all over here in our computer now. Yeah. So luckily, I came on board when it was like a much easier time to do home recording. But a lot has changed, even in just the 20 years that we've been working on music together.
Yeah. Computers have gotten way more powerful, which was the inspiration to really make this album. I got in 2011. I still have it. It was the most powerful iMac of the time. 4-core i7, which multi-threads into 8 cores, super powerful. In fact, the iMac we got you in 2015, finally, it was like a base level one, but finally it had the same power as my 2011 one. That's how long it kept core. Anyway, it's a beast of a machine, meaning I can run a ton of just plugins, not that I'm a plugin freak, but just to craft the sound that I wanted to. I knew I needed some processing power. So that's one way computers have changed. You just have so much more power now than like in the early days of computer recording.
The other thing is now we can have nearly infinite tracks. We're not stuck with 8 tracks, or like in your case 6 tracks, I guess, when you're the symphony.
7,
7 tracks.
Yeah, so tracks aren't even an issue now. It's a non-problem.
So if I'm like, hey, I want to do another like vocal,
or 5 more, and then comp them down, whatever. We got the tracks.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of stuff.
No.
We just have a few well-selected things.
That's it,
we saved up, and like between albums, we're like, okay, let's upgrade a few things. Sell some stuff, get some different stuff. We don't want to have like a whole room full of crazy stuff.
You see other bands or studios where they have a wall of preamps, a wall of compressors, because they're recording like 8 dudes at a time, and all these microphones on the drums. No, we just record one thing at a time, one voice, one guitar.
One really great mic,
one great signal chain handled. It's like a signal chain I say could compete with any studio anywhere in the world. It's that it's that good.
So
I'm just saying that's the secret, but they have to have like 8 or 20 great signal chains.
That's true.
Really expensive. Just get one good signal chain.
Yeah, we're only ever recording one thing at a time. That's the thing.
And if I have to, I have
one instrument, one voice.
I can hack a second pretty good signal chain as well if I have to.
All right, maybe one day we'll have to push it. Do some live stuff. So wow, I didn't even know we were going to go off on this whole side tangent, but that's kind of that gives you an overview of the album. Like the inspiration was, I guess, to compete with Cocteau Twins.
I just wanted to see if I could make an album that just sounded as good as theirs did, and I'll let you guys be the judge about that. I'm very satisfied with how this album came out.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked too, and we really took our sweet time on this thing. We spent the most amount of years of any of our projects on this. Like our first album, I think we spent 6 months total writing, recording, the whole thing. This one, it's more like 6 years. Yeah,
I bought that computer in 2011, so
yeah. You say Cocteau Twins, but it's not like... Would you say any of the songs actually sound like Cocteau Twins?
No, it's just more a soundscape, a texture, a vibe. I don't sit there and go, I'm going to rip off this chord, I'm going to rip off this lick. I can't, like any of these songs of ours, I can't say, it sounds like this song from the Cocteau Twins, really. I mean, it sounds like in a really vague sort of way,
I was just remembering that I let Barry from Choice Manor hear the music, and he said, "Oh, sounds like Cocteau Twins." I mean,
one song might sound like that. I think "Brother Against Brother," the all acoustic song that you guys may have heard. We have a video for it. Maybe we could play a little clip of it here. Some of Brother Against Brother reminds me a little bit of Cocteau Twins' Victorialand, specifically Whale Tail, but it's not a copy of it. And some of it, people says, quite a copy of Pink Floyd, Welcome to the Machine.
Which we covered Welcome to the Machine. And I've been meaning to put that on YouTube. We did cover that, so I guess you probably had that a little bit ingrained.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's one of the older songs in the album, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video came out. That single and video came out a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, another song. Yeah, Brother Against Brother. I'm just completely 100% satisfied with how that song came out. Start to finish, every sound on there.
Oh, yeah.
Every track.
No, when we made that song, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is some of our best work ever.
Yeah, I would have lost my S back in the 90s if I made a song that sounded as good as that.
Yeah, I'm really stoked on that one.
So, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like your old fans, like, for the most part, you guys, his old fans kind of hate me. Like, they hate me. Like, the really hardcore ones, they like his old singer, and, like, I'm just like, they're always like, you should work with Suzanne again. But I always feel like if they were to hear Brother Against Brother, why would they not like that song as much as anything you ever
what
did?
do you like,
right?
really? Do you like the personalities, or do you like the music, the art, how it makes you feel? I mean, you know, there's no way if you could listen to Brother Against Brother and be an old Love Spirals Downers fan and just go, oh, man, that sounds horrible.
That sucks.
There's just no way.
Speaking of songs that you feel super satisfied with, I think we both really like Are You Lonely?
Yeah, for me, I've told Angie this many times. For me, that's like the pinnacle, like the best song I've ever made, and we've ever made. You know, it's the best thing I've ever done in my entire career. I mean, just the whole thing, again, from beginning to finish. Brother Against Brothers, maybe a close second, you know.
I love that song.
But yeah, Are You Lonely? It came out 100 times better than I thought I was gonna. Just like for me, like everything, all the sounds, all the production, everything in the whole stereo field, the soundscape, just nailed it.
You started with that little drum machine. I was like, oh wow, that reminds me of, like, you know, when the Cocteau Twins worked with those little drum machines, they kind of had that like cute vintage drum machine sound. And I was like, I really like this. I'm into it. And we started working on a demo, and then, like, you may not even remember this anymore, but you were like, you went to go swap out the drums to use more realistic ones, and I think you maybe tried to make the time signature a little bit faster. And I was like, no, wait, you're destroying the song. It's all about those cute vintage drum machines. And then the song was like in limbo for a while.
I was having trouble with the chorus, where you sing Are You Lonely? I was having trouble getting that to match up, because the verse is so cool. I was having trouble making the chorus be either equally as cool or cooler. And I was having a lot of trouble with that. And finally, I did something with the acoustic guitar. It all clicked together.
Wow.
And it just all... when you're making a song and it's all clicking, it just comes naturally, intuitively. And I was having that problem making it all click for me. But once I figured out the guitar part, the acoustic guitar part, then the whole vision came. So yeah, that was sometimes it happens on a song. You just missing that one ingredient that's going to take it to the next level.
I wonder if you still have that project when you had changed it out. Like, if so, we should play a little clip of it.
I always make mixes as I'm going along. So
oh my god, maybe we can play you guys a little
I'd rather have it not be played.
Come on, just a little bit.
Let's play the beautiful perfection of our song now.
Another weird thing about Are You Lonely is that, God, this years ago. I mean, we were writing that song so long ago. My hair was still, like, only growing out to, like, here. And I was, like, 112 pounds. I started trying to make a music video on one of my older iPhones, and I have all these weird clips where I was, like, trying to film, like, I was like, okay, the lyrics say screen glows blue in an empty room. So I was trying to get my computer to look blue and trying to film it from a...
Does it look cool at all?
I mean, it's interesting that I put these weird filters on it. So
I
like,
want to see this.
All right, it's like this quality is very small. It's like not even up to like today's standards.
Well, I still want to see it.
All right.
So speaking of Are You Lonely, our favorite song, it's actually been catching on in some circles, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I forgot to check it. It was like I think the most listened to song from the album over on Spotify. But so I've been sending the album out to some, radio stations and podcasters, like online radio. And so I've got like huge news. So there's a station called Soma FM.
Been around for a long time.
Yeah.
We've known about them for decades. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like the whole time that we've been a band. So like Soma FM, actually, I didn't even realize this until recently. First of all, he got his start at Burning Man. And for a little while he was off the air because he had gotten busted by the RAA. Rusty Hodges, the owner of the station, he got scared because they were threatening to charge him $1,000 a day.
Yeah, that's the crap they were trying to pull.
$1,000 a day for independent, internet radio. So he was off the air for a while. He actually
spoke to Congress or something?
Yeah. He actually gave testimony
Wow.
in Congress.
That's
about,
awesome.
Yeah. So so he was able to strike a deal, and he said he would pay I think it's like $2,000 a year that he had to
Way
pay
more
to
reasonable.
do internet radio. Yeah, than $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
I mean,
You better
come
be making
on.
a lot of money.
Which he's not. He doesn't even run ads or anything.
Yeah.
It's all independent. Anyway, so he's super cool, and he's always been really supportive, and dude, even my Angie B album is still charting right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so I was kind of okay, I know he loves Angie B and he loves some of our more housey music, but what's he gonna think about this dream pop kind of throwback?
They're known more for electronic stuff, ambient dance, that kind of thing, not like 90s dream pop.
I know. I was like, you know what? But Rusty's a bro. I'm just gonna send it to him and we'll just see.
Maybe he's like us. Some people just like good music, regardless of genre.
And the cool thing about Soma is that they have so many stations on. He started with the Drone Zone during that Burning Man time, but he's got a dozen different stations, and there's different DJs there and everything. So he's always kind of played us on a station there called Lush, which is usually female vocals and kind of sexy
vibes,
sexy chill vibes. Yeah. So anyway, so I had sent it to him, and then I looked at their website. I was like, wait a minute, they've been going crazy playing stuff from the album. Then I started going back in the playlist history, and it turns out that Life Goes On has been number 1 in their entire top 30 for 8 weeks.
That's crazy.
8
Number
weeks.
1 for 8, dominating Soma FM. Number 1 on several charts too, right? Or
Well, yeah. Okay, so this is just for the Lush station. I didn't even check any others. So I just associate with Lush. But on Lush, we were dominating a bunch of stuff. So it was we were number 1 for 3 weeks when I wasn't paying attention, and then our friends Halou took over for a minute, and then we won it back again. Then Halou won it again.
Halou.
I know.
We got the upper hand. We know you guys. If you happen to be watching,
Halou are
hi.
cool. I know they've been doing it with us. Since,
They've been making music as long as we have, basically. Yeah.
I know. We learned about Bandcamp from those guys.
Yeah, actually so.
Yeah. So I think we've been number 1 for the last 3 weeks. And then right now the title track from the album is the number 1 song. And
Life Goes
top
On.
30. Yeah, their top 30, it's tracks by spins chart. So it's a little confusing. They have a bunch of different charts. There's tracks by spins, and then there's by
Listeners. Are You Lonely was tracking on the listeners chart too, right?
It was number 1 on the listeners chart. I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Thanks.
Number 1.
If you happen to be one of these Soma FM listeners, I'm tip my hat if I had a hat.
So, I know. They've had 4 songs from the album in heavy rotation. I remember when I wrote Rusty, I was like, I don't know if this album will totally be your cup of tea, but you'll probably like spinning circles.
Which just has a drum and bass feel, which fits in their electronica vibes. Yeah, but
Totally.
no, they're taking the whole dream pop thing and going with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then weirdly, the same thing happened. There's another show.
Oh, Below Zero Beats?
Below Zero Beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some more people we knew from our past albums.
Yeah, exactly. They're a San Francisco / New York based show, and their
Internet
show's 3 hours.
Streaming station.
Yeah, streaming, and then now he also puts archives of shows over on Mixcloud.
Oh, cool.
So I was checking out on Mixcloud. I want to say he played "It's All Right" a few weeks back, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a surprise." But this week he played, Mason played 2 tracks back to back, so it was like a double header.
Oh, I see your notes here, yeah.
Yes.
It's All Right, and Are You Lonely?
I know! I was like, wow, that's awesome, our favorite song.
So happy, yeah.
I am too.
Yeah, It's All Right. We haven't talked much about that, but that's as well one of my songs on our album that I'm super, super proud of.
Yeah.
It came out near perfectly.
That's why we started the album off.
Yeah,
with
you
it.
want to, guys, sequencing albums, try to start off with a really good song. Don't make people wait to hear a good one.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy, at least.
It's tough because we've always kind of ended our albums on like those really epic songs with those big long endings and like the kind of songs that like haunt you and you think about for a long time afterwards.
I still like to end with a great one too. I just
Yeah.
realize a lot of people might not hear it, but you just figure, hey, this
tough.
one's for the people that are really listening and digging the album. So
Yeah.
give them something special.
Totally.
But anyway.
So this time we kind of had a few anthemic songs.
Yeah, and
with, like
it's-
those kind of big endings.
It's All Right was one of it. Could have been an ending song.
It was for a little
for a
while.
while, but we decided
was.
let's put it up front
I
because
know,
it
I
works
was
great
like,
there
screw it. I was
too.
like, this will be. I mean, not to say we're like the Beatles, but I was like, this will be like our Hey Jude. You know, like they. You know,
Yeah.
that seems like an album closer, but they start off with that. I was like, we could pull a little.
Yeah,
Hey
take
Jude.
some of that
Why
philosophy.
not?
So that's cool. I'm glad they're digging it, and they sent us an email just like today.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Below Zero wrote you.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, what does it say
He
again?
told me to tell you. So yeah, so he said, tell Ryan that when he hits that guitar note on It's All Right, it's like butter. Perfectly timed, and love the 80s feel to it. Well done.
I know what he's talking about. It's just that guitar note, because there's a lot of guitar notes. But if you're talking about a singular guitar note, it's when the solo starts near
I
the
love
end
it
there.
too.
It's just this big sustaining sound, and again, that's one of those like magical moments where I had an idea and it just came out way better than what I conceived of.
Oh,
sometimes things just work out better. You know,
Wow.
often I just hear something in my head and I can't get it to sound close to it, but sometimes it comes
Yeah.
out better. That's one of those rare moments.
Yeah, I was really stoked on that song. Yeah, so that song, not so much Cocteau Twins on that one, I would say. That one's maybe a little bit more like
Slow dive. A little
Yeah,
more
I'd say
slow
a little
dive.
more slow dive.
And I'll give you guys a little, who are listening and curious, actually the inspiration for the beginning with the piano and the
Yeah.
kind of moody intro with the piano is Fleetwood Mac,
Oh.
a song off Tusk called Beautiful Child. It's a Stevie
love that
Nicks
song.
song. Oh, it's one of the best Fleetwood Mac songs ever. Super beautiful, sadness, moody,
Yeah.
and it's just, that's my wheelhouse right there, those moods.
Oh my gosh.
So I kind of combined that and Slow Dive, Cocteau Twins, and made our own thing. Yeah.
Honestly, when you... Oh, I'm sorry.
I would say a little Mojave 3 too,
Definitely
which is a
Mojave
slow
3 too.
dive offshoot kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Also, when you go into that solo, honestly, it kind of reminds me a little bit of El Pedregal.
One of my old songs
Ever.
from Lovespirals Downwards
Yeah.
Ever, yeah.
So yeah, Ever was like his third album.
That was
with
an
his old
opening
singer.
song too, opening track.
I was obsessed with El Pedregal. And I remember when we first started working together, you weren't playing guitar. You were just into programming and sampling. And you're like, yeah, guitar, blah. And I was like, I really wanted to do something on EBO. Like, I always was obsessed with you doing some EBO stuff, like El Pedregal.
That was actually not an EBO
I
on.
can't believe it.
I can't remember I did an El Pedregal, but I'm talking about our new album.
Not-
and It's Alright. That was not an EBO.
I couldn't believe it.
That
You
was
told me it wasn't EBO.
a secret effect sound that I crafted out.
What?
It's top secret. Yeah.
How is that not EBO?
It's
it sounds so
it's
EBO.
not EBO. There
Oh my
is
God.
EBO
Do
on,
we have
on
the
the
EBO
album.
around? I bet people are like, what the hell is an EBO?
Let's see, where
It's
is
this
my
really
EBO?
weird. So this is an EBO, and it seemed
Actually,
like...
vintage. I probably got it maybe in the late 80s or early 90s.
That's what I was gonna say. Anyone that was cool in the late '80s had an EBO. Like all the bands I was ever in,
What you
there
do
was
is
an EBO.
you hold it above the strings with your right hand. Instead of a pick or your fingers, you just put it on top of the strings that you play, and it sustains a note, basically, infinitely. Like a violin bow, hence the name EBO. But no,
electronic bow.
I use it on a lot of songs. Let's see, like gosh, I don't know. I don't want to think that hard right now, but it's
Yeah.
all over the album. But it's not. It's on all over. Will It Ever Be the Same?
Oh,
in fact,
man.
that solo on Will It Ever Be the Same is an EBO. But no, It's Alright is not. Speaking of old school sounds and EBO, strangely, Lovespirals Downwards, my older band that I keep talking about, we just reissued the last album, the 5th album, which is a career retrospective. It's been out of print for how long? Out of stock for
forever.
Many years. What happened is a long time ago, the label sent us, the record label sent us a bunch of these, the covers and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, do you have any need for these? I was like, I don't know. I'll take them.
I'll hang on to them. And
totally.
So I sat on them for maybe a decade. And then
probably.
And then a few months ago, I said, hey, I have a whole stack of the discs I found for Temporal. Would you like them?
Want them?
It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make them unite. So, yeah, we sound the rest of these out. Yeah, if you want an original first pressing of Temporal, Lovespirals Downwards, a collection of music past and present.
I know. This was the first project thing that I worked on with you. Project is the label, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I did the artwork, and wow, this is early digital photography. And I think we were trying to figure out how can we say that it's a best of when it's clearly not a best of.
It's not a best of. A lot of the tracks on here, I put a little asterisk on the back. Most of these tracks were never on an LSD, Lovespirals Downwards album proper. Some are on compilations.
Yeah.
And some are just some of my favorite songs on the actual albums too, so it's a mix.
Yeah, that's definitely not a best. In fact, so on Facebook, I was asking his fans what they would have chose if it had been a best of. So there was a lot of heated debate. Although some of the songs that are on here made it. But so there's there was 80 of these, I want to say. Was it that many?
It's 50-ish.
50? Oh, yeah.
45, 50, something in that ballpark. So we've sold a few already because we, blasted out to the LSD fans on Facebook. So
yeah, so it's 50 of these, but then, so since it's on Bandcamp, that meant that, that finally it was going to be available digitally over there in the high quality audio. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if we're going to go to the trouble of putting it on Bandcamp, let's put some extras.
So if you buy it on
3 extra songs.
Bandcamp, there's some extra songs on the digital download. And if you on Bandcamp, if you do buy the physical CD, you automatically get the digital download with the extra songs.
Exactly.
So yeah, go to, if you're interested, lovespiralsdownwards.bandcamp.com and act quickly because they have been selling, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, we're not gonna print
these were pressed up 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of stuff that is limited, we
album.
do still have some of our CD, and we have just a couple of these pins left that were made to match the album. They're
kind of tiny and washed
really,
out,
really
but
tiny.
we'll include that in your order.
They're really cute though. Yeah, so so once again I did the artwork, but this is with a nice, really good digital camera.
Yeah.
And the CD's great if you're still into CDs, which I've been surprised how many people are, and we have been signing them.
Yeah, so if you do buy it on Bandcamp, this is lovespirals.bandcamp.com. Yeah, when you check out, there's a little box you can fill out if you want us to sign it, or if you just want to tell us, hey, whatever, you can leave a little message to us there. But yeah, and if you're purely digital, you can get digital downloads on Bandcamp, and you can also listen on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. It's out there, right?
Yeah, it's on everything.
You can buy the disc on Amazon too if you want.
I think we might even be on that weird Beyonce
Tidal.
I think we're even on Tidal.
The weird Beyonce.
That weird Beyonce thing. I don't know. Tidal. Yeah, so there we go. So there's the plug.
Yeah. Some people at this point might want to actually buy the music.
I know. After we were talking about it. And you know what? We have one more thing.
What? What's the one? We sound like Steve Jobs here.
I know.
What?
We have one more thing.
Oh, it better be cool.
It is. We have a brand new song which is a reworking / remix of our friends Karma Coda. That just came out on their remix album. What's it called? Intimate Remixes. So it was their song called My Love. And they gave us the files, and Ryan kind of reworked it, and I added in some vocals, and you played some guitar.
Yeah, but we treat it like a lot of people when they remix. I've done this many times too. You just kind of rip it all apart, arrange a whole new song, and I did the kind of opposite. I kept the same song structure where the verses and choruses went.
Yeah.
But I changed some of the chords around and made it really just a more moody song, and added guitar, added synthesizers, added my own bass line. Because he had a synthesizer. I go, this needs a real good bass guitar. And then got you and sung on it too. So we kind of made it our own song. So yeah, if you want to check that out. I thought it came out really cool.
Yeah, so we kept his singer's vocals, and then we just added to them.
Yeah. Added to them, made them big and luscious, put in our really nice reverb that we were talking about earlier onto it. Yeah.
I'll find a way
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked on it.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that. Yeah.
So you can also stream that. Even, you know what? Even YouTube has this music, I should mention.
All
Even
this,
YouTube
yeah.
has all this music. Maybe not necessarily the extras from the Temporal album, although, you know, I did want to mention really quickly, one of the extras I put on the Bandcamp was a 2013 recording that you had made.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of random.
Yeah, just a quick story. Yeah, in the middle of us making the Lovespirals album here, Life Goes On, I had the idea, like, let me actually go back and try to recreate an instrumental from our second album, Ardor, Lovespirals Downwards Ardor, and see how closely I can make it sound to it. And that's what I did. It sounds pretty much exactly the same. I whipped out the same acoustic guitar, my Ovation back
cool.
there.
You still
Got
have it.
everything going on. Yeah, it maybe sounds a little better because I have better reverbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, cleaner sound and better
less dark.
preamps and microphones like I was talking about. But yeah, so that's on the bonus, the digital download bonus for Temporal. And I think I have that up on the Lovespirals Downwards YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, I think that's why I asked you about it. I go, hey, do you, give me the audio of that. That would be cool to make available. Yeah, so, yeah, there we go. I guess there's one thing we should mention, that we still haven't figured out how to do a live performance for you guys.
I'm getting closer. I think what I've come to the conclusion is I need to have a second computer. I need my main iMac to do all the mixing and everything, and I need to send the audio out of that into a second, like a laptop, and send that through the YouTube streaming stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my conclusion.
Really
so I
technical.
I need to actually borrow probably your audio interface too to make that happen. That's why I haven't tried it yet.
All right,
but
yeah.
I put a lot of hours into this. It's been I was hoping to do it all off one computer, and I've tried everything in the world and it just won't work for me.
This is exactly like when we tried to play on do you guys remember Second
Oh
Life?
no.
In 2007, when our album came out, then they're like,
Long Way From Home.
Long Way From Home. Oh, you guys should do a live performance in Second Life on Pod Show Island. We're like, okay, and then it was like so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
I've come close to the fire, nearly burned my hands, and I won't be lifted high.
But anyways, so it feels a lot like that Second Life situation.
So yeah, it was one of our plans. Is one of our plans for our Lovespirals official channel here is to do a live stream right from here in the studio.
Yeah. If nothing else, we should at least record like one live song, like just record it.
We'll get something going on for sure.
Something. We need some content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that was a long and rambling,
Yeah.
definitely a podcast style thing. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's going to be up on Mixcloud in audio, as well as the YouTube in video. And hopefully we'll do another one much sooner than 2 months from now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And make sure you're following us on social media too.
Yeah.
We have an Instagram, Lovespirals Official, and our YouTube channel as well is Lovespirals Official. And we're kind of bad with the YouTube, Lovespirals Official, but we're a lot better with the Instagram, Lovespirals Official. So make sure you follow us there for pretty regular content.
Yeah, I try to be regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll live stream on there like John Mayer.
Yeah, just like John Mayer.
John Mayer knows how to use all the latest in social media, I've noticed.
Yeah.
He's really good at that.
It's pretty good for an old man, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, we'll have to do like a John Mayer episode when we go to see him this year.
Yeah, we're going to see him a few times this year, actually.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we should shut this down. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
So, do we have an official outro yet?
Oh, man, I forgot what we used to say, huh?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Thanks for listening, and
like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when a new episode comes out. Since it's so random, you're going to need to be notified.
Until next time, guys, remember to keep it chill, baby.
Oh, we're going to do the chill cast
Keep
ending.
it chill.
It doesn't suck to play music. Like, what are we going to say?